Okay, thank you. All right, it's 6:30. I'll call the meeting to order. As you can see, Andy knew we wouldn't be here tonight, so I'm going to run the meeting. The first thing we have is number 2 is public comments. Nobody's in attendance, so I think I can just close public comments for the first one. And number 3 is agenda review.
I do have the first draft of the bus routes to add, so if we could do 6B for that. And I have a couple of edits. I noticed on the agenda, the minutes say July 7th, but they're actually July 9th. And then under policies, not that we're going to get into a lot with policies, but we do need to add ACAC. This is the new Title IX policy. And I'll talk about that when we get there. I think that's it.
Anybody else? Anything for agenda review?
Oh, I have one thing for under informational items, just something I saw that I want to share.
I have one too. Yeah. Just add an A and a B for carrying under informational number 9. Okay. 9B. And number 4 is minutes of the previous meetings. We have June 11th meeting, July 9th meeting, and the non-public minutes for July 9th. Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Does anybody have any minutes or comments other than the date?
On the agenda,
Yeah. All those in favor, please say aye. I think.
Aye.
Aye. And Sandy, you got that, you can change the date on those. Number 5 is listed as the electric bus committee.
Yes, so Amy's not here, and I did not get a report out from the committee, so we can hold on that if you'd like.
Oh, Jean, you were there.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So basically, this is like a subscription on it. So the grant covers it's $5 million, covered 25 buses and chargers. Got 24 months from the time that we were approved for the grant to get something in place, get this in place and finalized. One of the things that was concerning to me is just, if any of you remember, is getting the electric trash truck, but in doing so, they have to take a diesel vehicle out of service. Same thing here. So we don't have any buses. We can't say, hey, we're going to take your buses. And
Amy commented at the meeting that she thought they gave us the buses.
they do. This is clarified now. Basically, what they do is go around and buy old buses. So then, when we get a bus, they pour something in the engine that locks up, and it'll then seizes it up and run over. So just rough numbers, we're talking. Deerfield was looking at 9 buses, and we were looking at 8. Because currently, I think I didn't write it down, but Deerfield I think needs 8 buses, and we run 6 right now. So that was just roughing it out. Plus, you'll need so that gives a little leeway for having like you have 2 extra buses, they have an extra bus or 2. And then again, this is all just really pulling the first meeting, just getting some of the stuff out of the way. What we're trying to do is get one of the representatives, his name, from Highland to come in and really break it down. One question I do have at this point, one of their claims to fame, Highland's claims to fame, is that 100% of the districts that have implemented their service or had tried to implement their service have been successful in doing so. My question was, these districts already have their own bus service. And I'm guessing that's probably a lot, be a large part of it. Don't know that information. Yeah, we set out our meeting schedule. The next meeting would be August 19th, following September 16th, and October 21st.
Did you say 8/19, 9/16, and 10/21?
Correct. Yeah. So basically, we would have to do some service on the buses ourselves, probably rates and whatnot. They would handle if there was an issue with like the battery packs or any electronics on the vehicle. We'd also be employing the drivers, so we have a whole different, department at that point. So Patty could probably handle that on the side of the problem. Yeah. But so we would have to look at, adding another department for this to manage the drivers, routes, all that stuff. I mean, the routes we already have. Is she employed by Dale or?
Yeah.
She is. Okay. We have somebody, we have a blueprint for the routes, but we have to have somebody who's in charge of making sure the drivers are, doing their thing, and also overseeing the routes as far as that goes. And that's about it. One thing I will say, and we're just going through information. A regular school bus costs around $100,000 new, and the e-bus costs about $360,000. So one of the things that is concerning to me, these have about a 10-year lifespan. 10 years from now, there could be a very big bill. So that's one of the reasons we want to have either to say, when we get to that, what can we do? I don't want it to be like all of a sudden dropping everybody's lap. We have to have basically a 10-year life before we implement any of this. So. But anyway, that's about it.
300.
350. And those are just,
Thank you for going to that, Jean. Let's see, for number 6, we have 24, 25 board goals.
I thought you would want to wait.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So the next meeting.
that's what I think. And then B is bus routes.
So the one thing that Linda noted, which is why I actually included the email, just to point out that she's having Pink Bus drop off at Three Rivers before doing the second half of the run. And then there's more rentals that are being taken, and the numbers are going up and even more with yellow. So she's definitely getting nervous. That's why these are preliminary. She's doing Linda's great. She sets up at the library several days out of the summer, and we really do go after people to try to find out if they're intending to use the bus. So I reached back out to Linda just to clarify whether or not that was going to change the need for supervision for students. It sounded to me like they were going to be able to get everybody there on time, but I do need to clarify that if we need supervision for kids. But the numbers are big. Obviously, Pink Bus can't do 74, so that's why she's planning to do a drop off and then go get more kids.
When you say rentals, are you returning this way? We're talking times.
That was my assumption.
Yeah.
That's what I'm just trying to think of anything else.
And I'm kind of assuming that's why we don't have the yellow bus route. She probably is still trying to figure that one out with people moving into those, because it sounds like they're kind of hitting the finish mark on some of those condos on the opposite side of the street. So we have no idea what we're bringing in.
Yeah, she's really worried about that.
So piggybacking on that, what is, registration for kindergarten and any new registrations, that would be
I have a sticky note on my desk with those numbers, but I don't have it with me. Sorry.
Well, you've got kindergarten assessments and stuff coming up next week. So, and that's when most of those parents are going to speak to the bus coordinator saying, yes, my kid's taking the bus or no, they're not. So And I know at least in my neighborhood, so that's Pink Bus, that we have at least 6 kindergartners. So that puts Pink Bus at 80 if they were to take everybody.
Yeah, the kindergarten numbers are not, I mean, we do our best to get kids into register early, but until the screenings, and actually some people don't even realize to come in early, but they just show up on the first day to register, so. I don't think the numbers were horrible last I checked.
You don't need us to do a voter. on this,
Yeah,
right?
I'd like to approve just the draft there, at least then we can get something out.
Okay.
And then we'll do revisions next meeting.
And so, motion to approve the draft bus routes.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
The only thing I want to say is, I mean, once we do have those final numbers, I know we're gonna have to maybe move some stuff around. Does she anticipate that we may have to add an additional bus?
We haven't had that conversation yet. I know we were concerned, we were doing a double run, if you remember, and they ended up working it out in terms of the timing, but, it depends on the sports seasons, and then at the point that we thought we were going to, they didn't have the driver. When that's been the issue with busing all along for the past few years.
So to be continued.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was gonna be my question.
Yeah. And because if you remember, we did cut a bus, because we were getting everyone on, and everyone thought we could do it as soon as we cut it, and we didn't have a driver, so we cut it.
If everything falls into place, and if we have to add a bus and everything falls into place to do so, what will that do to the transportation budget? There, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, we contract for X number of buses, that's all we budgeted for, and then we
Right.
budgeted additional for, any issues that we knew about, so that can change things too. I mean, we saw the numbers fluctuate last year,
Yeah.
but with Jess, that's a guess every year what's gonna happen
Yeah.
with that transportation, too, so. Yeah, I mean,
Anybody else? I guess all in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye. It's just us. Any opposed, abstain. Number 7, policies.
So, we can wait on the majority of the policies, but I think you all got the email from the New Hampshire School Board Association, with the Title IX regulations that are going into effect on August 1st. So it's very cumbersome and there's a lot to unpack. There were two attachments to that, and one of them was 50-something pages, so I don't know if you opened it. I did open it. There's lots of policies that need to be adjusted at some point, but they are recommending for now that you adopt the preliminary ACAC Title IX policy, just so that you have something to be in compliance on August 1st. It went into effect. So when you don't have a policy, you still have to follow the law, but they did think that it was important if we needed to do any investigations that we have at least that preliminary policy. So if you would waive the second and third readings and get this approved so that we can be in compliance, that would be great.
you said ACAs,
Yes.
that's already on third.
No, that was the old, you guys are working on updating, and then the School Board Association,
Oh.
new Title IX regs just went into effect, so now it's even more. It's temporary. Yeah, so that gets scrapped.
Yeah, I'm gonna defer to you, Carrie, because I know you had time.
Yeah,
No, you have.
do you want to go through what we have for policies, or do you want to just focus on the ACAC?
Make a motion to adopt that policy.
I don't think anyone did yet.
Yeah.
If you have things that you are ready to move forward, we can certainly talk about it. It's up to you guys.
So the ACA was one of my questions I didn't know. So I'll make a motion to accept the New Hampshire School Board Association policy for ACAC. Recently revised.
Alright, relate that. Think that readings.
Waive the readings, first and second readings.
Alright, second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
No, just, yeah, there's nobody else. Go ahead.
Okay, then the, AC, we were gonna just move to second reading. We were looking for an update on DIA, the fund balance. I think the last time we talked about this one, Amber was working on something, but we were waiting. She had given you revisions, but we were waiting on one more piece of that. I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll check back in with
Okay.
her.
And then we're going to move the ones that are under second reading to a third reading. Okay. Because we really want to be able to discuss them yet more. And then so I'm gonna make a motion to rescind policy GCH, policy GCK, and policy GCF.
Second.
Any discussion on those?
Ask for that. GCH, GCK, and GCF. Sorry. Should have used my military.
And those were all recommended services.
Yeah, that should get.
Yeah. And they're on page 2 of the agenda if you need to relook at that, sorry. Later on if you get mixed up there.
Yeah, so I think the rest will just hold for the next meeting, just so we.
And then move the others up a reading.
Yes.
Yep, gotcha.
Yeah, so the ones that are under third reading right now, we're gonna hold.
Mhm.
And then everything else will move up to the next. Okay. Yeah. And then an update on DIA.
Yep, got it.
That's all I have.
We have a motion and a second. All those approved? Do we need to approve to rescind those, hopefully?
Oh,
I
yeah.
second, did I second?
You did,
Yeah.
yeah.
We didn't.
Oh. We didn't go yet, or I didn't?
Everyone.
Okay, yeah.
All those
In favor of rescinding those 3 policies?
I
Thank you.
thought I thought it in my head.
No, that's okay.
Thanks for that stuff, I'm done.
They're going so fast tonight, we're just.
Yeah, I know. All right, number 8 is public comments. And nobody's here, so I'm gonna close the second comment. And then number 9 is informational items. For A, Patty. that's
Yeah, I just had one informational item that you may have seen in your drive that Jen Canella, the registrar at Pembroke Academy, resigned. And I just wanted to let you know that we had filled that position with Angelina, I'm gonna get the last name wrong, Krosick, I think. She's the robotics coach, or she was the robotics coach, and really enjoyed working with PA and is doing a great job. She's been training. People have been working with her, getting her up to speed. She's doing a great job. So it was nice to get that position filled.
Awesome. And B, I had Carrie.
I don't even, I know where it was, okay, it was on the New Hampshire School Board Association, website. I noticed that they were just kind of discussing different, new things that were coming up, and, August 13th, there is an open house at what it's called Synergy Academy. It's on Boundary Street in Concord, on Texas 16. It is a charter high school, which is something that my understanding is there's a lot of those in New Hampshire, so this is the one opening up, so just wanted to get, so if I get a crazy year that we've got a charter high school.
Thank you. Anything else? She's gonna make me do this. Okay. All right, so number 10 is non-public session. The board has reason to go into non-public under NHRSA 91-A:3, Roman numeral 2, or small letter A, the dismissal, promotion, compensation, or disciplining of an employee or the investigation of any charges against him or her. And for small letter B, the hiring of any person as a public employee. And small letter C, which is matters which, if discussed in public, would likely affect adversely the reputation of any person other than a member of the board. On a roll call vote at 6:50 p.m. to go into non-public. Jean?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
And I'm a yes.
All right, so I'd like to make a motion to approve Mr. Coughlin's proposal